All right, all right. Ready up. Let's
All
do
right.
this.
All right. So, MK
Yay.
Macro
Yay.
from Haiti.
Hey, hey.
Thank you so much for joining me in this interview.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is for my class, my leadership module, but I wanted to share for what I've learned in my module that they said think of an effective leader.
Oh,
And to be honest, you were the first person I thought of.
wow.
Not,
What an
not to hype
honor.
you up,
What an honor. I'm honored.
but no, because I just like the way just working with you on jobs, several jobs,
Yeah, yeah. We did
weddings,
amazing.
all type of projects we've done, DC United, social justice events. Like you always like a game.
A game.
You come ready. You don't mess around. You're very knowledgeable. You know what you're talking about. I learn something new from you every time. And I'm not
Wow.
just saying this.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not just saying this, but I remember like my first wedding with you. I was like, it was just like information, information, information.
Wow.
Just learning on the go. So I appreciate that working with you. There's a bunch of things I can say, but this interview is about you kind of from your perspective, you know, what you think makes you a good leader, what makes a great leader. So I did send you 10 questions, but I'm just going to ask you one by one,
Okay.
and then hopefully we'll just talk.
Hey, let's start. Like I said, thank you for having me. Taylor Brown, you already know. So I remember like the first wedding we did together. It was an amazing project, and having you in the team, having you joining and willing to collaborate with me was like such a privilege because I get to work with someone new. And as you said, you learn a lot from me. I learn a lot from you too. And that's when it comes to being a leader. Okay, a leader doesn't just like run by the name. You gotta see the definition of a leader. What is a leader? Is someone who serve. Okay, someone who serve others. And how do you serve them? Is you lead them to the right direction. And I know like being a leader is hard. It's not everybody that wants to be a leader. Some people just don't want to be led.
Right.
And some people want to do both, being a listener and being a talker, But a leader has to focus on the team performance. So I feel like what make a and the question was about the style of the leadership that I use.
Yeah, so how would you describe your leadership style, and what does being an effective leader mean to you?
So now that we know the definition of a leader, my leadership style might be different from others because I have different values in leadership. So my values are the following. I want to make sure that my team feel comfortable working with me and working on this specific project. So I want to make sure that my team always feel like they can communicate with me even though we're under pressure. And I'm always someone that is open to listen and open to give constructive criticism, where I can help the team feel better.
Right.
Because the whole game about leadership style is to make sure that you can, teach others by doing the things the way you want them to be done, but you have to do them first. You have to do it yourself. So I feel like when I'm on set, I always feel like, hey, give your best so whoever you're with can learn from you and can learn from the blueprint, the way you do things, the way you talk to clients, the way you do this. So I always feel like as well, whenever I see a moment where I can interact with my team and let them communicate their challenge, so I know about those challenge and I can address them right away. Because something that might be tricky for you,
Right.
I've been through that already. So I can take that off your plate by easily telling you exactly how to do to solve this.
Right.
So this is what I like about leadership, and that's my leadership style.
Okay.
I lead by example, and yeah.
Okay, so you kind of touched on it, but what leadership qualities do you believe are most important when leading a video production or photography team, and why?
Wow, leadership quality when you lead a videography and photography. When you're in this industry, I would say the multimedia industry requires a lot of working under pressure. You do have to know how to work under pressure because time is something that we do not control.
Right.
Okay, and things happen at the moment. Every minute, every second, something is happening. So we need to know like how to be emotionally mature. When you feel pressure, you don't put that on your team. You kind of like find a way to help them navigate to the pressure because not everything happen the way you want it to happen.
Right.
So those are the values that I really care about, and communication. Communication is the key, my friend. Like if you're working with someone and you don't know their challenges, where they at, if they need help, or if they need direction, or if they need clarification, you need to use that funnel of communication and be like, hey, how you do? I'm just checking in with you. Is everything okay? And stuff like that. So that's pretty much how I would describe it. And the second part of the question was,
What qualities do you believe are most important when leading a video production team, and why?
yes,
Just why.
communication, preparation as well. Preparation is a big thing, big thing in the video production and photography world, because you do not want to come on set unprepared. If you do so, the quality of your work will reflect that.
Right.
And when you're on set, the whole team will be frustrated because we never talk about a plan. We came unprepared. So preparation is big, my friend. Like big. Prepare. Think about the event. Do what we call, if you can envision it, like see it in the future, where you can see the moving part, what is required, what might go wrong, what you need to bring with you in case something goes wrong, and collect all the data, all the intel, and share it with your team, so your team can be as prepared.
Right.
Because you don't want to come on set and realize, I'm the leader, I know everything, while my team was not being debriefed, they don't know anything. So you cannot expect them to perform their best. So what you did, you prepare yourself and you carry on that preparation, all those data you collected, all the information to your team, through meetings, debrief, but way before the event. So preparation is one of the key points I want to touch base.
Yeah.
And yeah, preparation, communication, and also emotional maturity. You need to talk to the client, even things are going wrong. You need to communicate with vendors, even things can go south. You need to stay in your character and understand that keeping your calm and show excitement no matter what happened will keep the energy of the team up. But if you're down, frustrated, and the team is counting on you, you passing on that negative energy to the team, and you can see that in their output. People will be down too because the leader is down. So you want to, regardless of the situation, if you're running behind schedule, the client is not really acting like they're supposed to act, a vendor is kind of creating challenges, you need to keep your professional behaviors on, like your professional game face on, and also be emotionally mature. Like don't ever like blow out on someone when you're on set. Make sure like you control yourself and stay with a positive energy, so that the team that depends on you can also stay positive, even though time can be challenging.
Yeah.
So that would be my 4 pillars.
So one of the things, and this is just on the fly question that I mentioned, I think is one of my leadership strengths is, I don't know people really know about it, but something I've observed is emotional intelligence. Like you said, being emotionally aware. Can you just kind of elaborate on that more, like how important emotional intelligence and what that is to you?
Yeah, emotional intelligence is a key tool in today's world, in everything you do, because emotions are temporary. Some morning you wake up happy and you drink some coffee and you're down, or vice versa. So emotions are temporary, they're not rational.
Right.
So understand that your emotions can blind you from acting the way you're supposed to act. For example, if you're taking something personal, that's when you become emotional about something. You don't see the rational behind it. You might see someone is angry and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna be angrier. No, that's the emotional maturity where it comes in. If you see someone angry, you should stay calm and de-escalate. Stay calm and think about, how can I de-escalate this? How can I comfort, not how can I be more angry and more emotionally involved. And that's one of the things you have that emotional maturity. Let's say someone said something that they shouldn't say, or do something they shouldn't do. You're not gonna go out of your way and start saying the stuff that you will regret later, start doing the stuff that you regret later. You want to reassess, and if it takes some time for you to step back, take a deep breath and do a little bit of introspection of yourself, and understand that what's happening has nothing to do with you. So there's no reason for you to take it personal. Okay, it's literally about controlling your emotion and focus on the project, and make sure you stay a high energy throughout the whole time, and understand that once you do that, you're doing this because you're here to capture the moment. You're not here to express yourself or, let people know how you feel. This is not the time for that. That's
Yeah.
later with your therapist. But usually that's how I see it. I feel like going home and knowing like you can talk about it now because you're home, you can talk about your emotion, you can unleash everything. That's emotional intelligence. When you can understand there's emotion in me, but this is not the time, the moment to express them. Okay, so this is the time for me to be behind the camera and capture the moment and talk to clients and make sure I secure the deal without letting the emotion carry me out and making me do or act the wrong way, because emotions are big, my friend. They can 5 seconds, that's all it takes. If you feel like you're going out and you feel like somebody got under your skin, 5 seconds of deep breath, and you notice that the emotion that you felt, the anger, the fear, the whatever it is, will kind of fade out, and you will focus on the present moment and realize it wasn't that bad after all. Like, name me one
Right.
time something, a, a bad thing, a problem that happened in life didn't work out.
Right.
Every
Right.
problem always work out at the end of the day. So there's no reason to be emotional about it, unless you're in a space, a safe space where you can be emotionally involved.
Right.
But if you're on set,
Right.
I don't take the space for emotion on set.
Right.
And if you need some space, you go take that space. But
Yeah. So
yeah.
that leads to my next question. Talking about emotions, how do you keep your team motivated and positive during a production set? Say you have a tense client, or it's just a really stressful shoot. How do you keep your team engaged and keep their spirit, keep them up? I don't know, say this is a long 12-hour shoot. How do you keep them positive and motivated?
Yeah, good question. So if you're on a long hour shoot, you're having a difficult day with their challenges, I understand that as a leader, you play a big part because you don't want to be the one to bring the team down. And the way to keep them motivated is to be yourself, the main source of energy. You need to be optimistic. You need to see the glass half full. You mean that, like, you need to stay optimistic. And also, you need to share and communicate the values and the purpose and the mission to your team. So if your team knows we are here to finalize this and to get this done and to film this for this amount of hours, the team should be able to laser focus on that and not let anything around them bring them down. It could be a vendor that is behaving wrong or something, some event happen. You don't want to be the one that, like, get the focus away. So what I mean by that, as a leader, if I'm having a hard time, I know my team is having a hard time. So it's my job to check in. Hey, how you doing? Did you had enough water today? What's on your mind? Are you feeling tired? Do you want to take a break? And because the goal of the leader is not to lead only, but also to show empathy, empathy with the team, because a lot of people will say, oh, the client is the king, the customer satisfaction is a priority and all that good stuff. But if your team is unhappy, I guarantee you the customer won't be happy either, because they will not serve the customer properly. If your team is unhappy, this is your job to make sure that your team is really happy and is making its best to perform at the optimal level. So keep the morale up, be energized, be optimistic, check in with them, ask them what they need, how we can help, and how I can make the load less. Okay, and it would be like, okay, let me do it for you. Go take a break, go sit for 5 minutes, get some water, enjoy the bar. If it takes that to get you back on your 100%, I'll do it.
Right.
Without a blip. So it's hard. It's not easy, but you have to do it, and you have to stay strong. You have to act like, I can help. And teamwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. So can you describe a moment, an experience where you're on a shoot and you had an unexpected challenge?
Ooh.
Example.
That's a everyday life.
Right.
When you're on a shoot, you should always expect it something to go south. Like you should always expect things to not go as you plan
Right.
because you're not in control on one factor, time and weather. Okay, regardless, time and weather. The makeup artist is running late. What do? We were supposed to film the bride at this time, but makeup artist is not nowhere to be found. We were supposed to film outside, but it's raining right now. So
Right.
what do we do? So to answer your question, what was the question?
Unexpected challenge.
Unexpected challenge. In the world of media production, in the world of creative media, like it could be photography and videography, you have to be flexible and work with what you got. If it's too windy, I will shoot with the wind, not against the wind.
Right.
If it's too bright, I will shoot in a shaded area, not
Right.
in the middle of the sun. If it's too hot, I'll probably stay inside in the indoors where there's AC and my bride don't need to be sweating.
Yeah.
So you need to be flexible and adaptable. So whatever situation you get, you adapt. You adapt. Don't see it as, oh man, we can't do that. We can't do that. It's too bright. It's too dark. See it. How can I make it happen with the little bit, with the factors that I have in front of me? Just like I like to say to my friends, whatever you do, make sure that you do the maximum with the minimum you have. Okay? If today you only get 5 minutes of sunlight
Yeah.
and you have to shoot with that, do the maximum you can.
Got it.
If you know it's gonna rain tonight and you can't shoot in the rain, well, shoot now and do the maximum you can. So that's what we do. And we've done project before where we had so much to work with and we did so big out of this because of this mindset. Do the maximum with just the minimum you have. Because, like I said,
Yeah.
some people don't notice, but we have a lot. We just need to look around and be grateful for what we have,
Yeah. So, what advice would you give someone who wants to become a stronger leader in the creative space, is what we do, videography, photography, or just running a business in this industry? What advice would you give them? How can they become better at this, what we do?
Well, that is a great question, Tay. For someone that is in the creative industry and that wants to be a better leader, my first advice would be to start. It's not easy, but to find a mentor. That is the first thing. A mentor that is into the business industry, that knows the game, that can teach you some rules of how to deal with clients. Now, if you don't have the luxury of a mentor, you can also read a book from a mentor, someone that you like. That's the way I got into business. That's my way. I read a lot of books that talk about running businesses and CEO mindset and stuff like that. My most recent book was The Diary of a CEO. It's a great book by Stephen Bartlett. And it teaches me a lot about how to be a leader, how to be a one man that they count on and that can get stuff done. And the second thing I would say is to work on sales. Leader can lead, but if you can't close a deal,
Yeah.
you're not gonna go far, my friend. Sales will allow you to recruit. Sales will allow you to grow your team and will allow you to get those contracts to grow your company and keep your company alive. Because at the end of the day, when you start as an entrepreneur in the creative industry, you're always the entrepreneur. You're always the CEO. You always start by you, the artist, as the CEO. So what you want to do, you need to know how to sell. Sell whatever you're selling, your art, your time, your services,
Right.
whatever. Know how to sell.
Yeah.
And then from there, invest in yourself, go to seminar, conferences, read books, find your mentor. And you can find your mentor online, like someone that you really appreciate listening to.
Right.
You really appreciate their advice and their mindset and their values. And you follow them on YouTube. And whenever they give a public speaking, you go to it. They don't need to know you,
Right.
but you can inspire from them. They've done it before and they're willing to give it to you, because nowadays we have YouTube and social media. Back in all this, there was no such thing.
Yeah.
It's either the best guy that run the stock market or you don't know him. Now with YouTube, I can Google his name and then I can see all these move and learn from whoever I want to learn from in whatever industry I want to learn from. So we have a privilege to have technology and social media where everything is accessible. Okay, you can literally find out whatever you need online. So I'm not just saying wait for the perfect situation. I'm saying start small, start by learning sales skills and marketing skills so that you can present your service and product to people. It could be whatever you're selling. And then from there, keep reading, keep traveling, keep investing in yourself as a person. You want to be able to see yourself as a lantern, an example, a model, something people can inspire from because you put so much into yourself. You invest so much in yourself, from reading books to meeting people to, closing deals. You want to close deals because each deal that you close will give you an opportunity, another project to work on it. Each project will give you massive skill set, massive skill set. You will learn from those projects, from clients' behavior, customer behavior, and customer approach, and how to execute. You have an opportunity to build a team because you finally have a project where you can hire 2-3 people and so it's very massive. But you unfortunately, not a lot of people love to sell, but in this industry you're gonna have to sell. Artists, not artists, I don't care. Learn how to sell.
Yeah, I agree with that 100% because that is like 90% of the business, maybe 95.
95, yeah.
The other 5 is you gotta find a shooter, an editor, all that.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Close that deal, man. Because if you don't, how you gonna pay the bills? Like the whole goal of a business is to generate profit. Whatever business you're doing, even soul, whatever it is, whatever the sole goal of a business is to create profit, generate profit.
Okay.
And the only way you can bring profit in is to sell. Whatever you're selling, you sell that. Through you send that invoice, you close that deal, you get them to pay.
And
once
it gets
you get this
addicting,
in,
man.
it is, but it's a good addiction.
Right.
Because the more you grow, the more you can do.
Right.
So the more you grow, the more benefits others can get from you, from your work, because your works get to look better. Your works get to be a higher level because you can hire a better team, afford more expensive equipment. So don't feel bad about closing and closing and closing. Closing is good.
Yeah.
It means that people see the value in you, because that's the thing. Like, you can create the best product on planet Earth.
Right.
If you do not promote it, if you don't let people know that this exists, they will not buy it. And if you're a talented person, you're selling a service or a product, if you don't put yourself out there and tell people, hey, I'm here, book with me, they're not going to know. So yeah, sales and a lot of keep reading books that are empowering, and find your mentor.
One thing you touched on that I'm about to write in my paper is entrepreneur mindset.
Entrepreneur mindset.
And I feel like you just broke that down with sales, reading books, getting a mentor.
Yes.
What does it take to have that entrepreneur mindset? You kind of dived in, but it's a whole nother world. I don't think not a lot of people really understand.
No, not a lot of people understand entrepreneurial mindset. It's just like, some people prefer to swim in a pool. Some people will prefer to swim in the ocean. Okay? Where there's sharks and dolphins and stuff like that. Because not everybody likes to take the same risk. Right. So, an entrepreneur when you see it. Because you got something called Thrive that drives him every day. You got something that called willpower.
Right.
He's willing to wake up, and he's willing to go out of his comfort zone, and he's willing to chase something that wasn't given to him. Okay? Like in a job, they give it to you. They give you the payroll, they give you the incentive, they give you the health insurance, the benefits, the PTO. They give you. They give you an office. They give you a chair or a computer. They give. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't get nothing.
Nothing.
You gotta know what you want. You gotta know and go get it.
Right.
But to go get it, you gotta have that fire in you. That fire that say, hey, I wanna go get it. I wanna go get it. You wake up in the morning and you feel like go get it. So you've seen a lot of people that say I want it, but they don't ever do the right step to go get it. So being an entrepreneur it's a gift. I've seen people that talk about it, but they never take a step to execute. They too scared.
Wow.
They're too scared, and I don't blame them. I
Yeah.
forgive them because you're the type of
Yeah.
guy that prefer to swim in the pool.
Yeah.
I like to swim in the ocean. We both swimmers, you know. We just swim.
I can't
we
swim.
take different risks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, don't get me wrong. I can't swim too. So it's just for the sake of this video. But I mean, I can float for
Yeah.
3-5 seconds, but the whole ocean swimming, no. I won't even go there. Like, you know, but all I'm saying here is like we both swimmers,
Right.
but some people choose the pool, I choose the ocean.
Right,
I know
right.
there's sharks, I know it's deep.
Right.
I know there's
risk.
it's a lot of risk,
Yeah.
but I want to take the risk
Got it.
because I got that thrive in me that say, hey,
Right.
go in it, man, go for a dive.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of people that talk about being an entrepreneur, but they feel very comfortable and they never really take the leap of faith. But I say my best example was my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You answered my next question. Where did you get your leadership?
I would say
skills?
my dad. Okay, my dad grew up working for the government, but he always had his side business. He had his own business. He started with a computer science school, teaching people Word, Excel, and PowerPoint.
Cool.
And growing up, I see him every morning. You gotta go to work. You gotta get us to school, but he wake up super early to work on his business to, you know, print those paperwork and get the room ready, the whiteboard ready, and all that. And I was like, man, it's 5 a.m., man. Why are you doing up? And he would do this every day. He had that thrive, and I've seen moment that he lost his job, but his mind was always like positive because he had his business.
Wow.
His side business that keep him happy, keep him busy, and keep him feeling like he's making an impact in those people's life. Everyone that come to his school and come out and get graduated, and they better than they can the person they were in. So I've seen my dad growing up working on his business, and my sister did see that too. My brother, so I have a little brother, they both see that too, but none of them picked up on it.
Yeah.
I picked up on it because I had that thing in me, that gift.
Right.
And I feel like if someone is watching this and they feel like they have a gift to swim in the ocean instead of the pool, go ahead and do it. Because the worst case scenario is that you failed and you go back to your W-2. That's the worst case scenario. If you failed as an entrepreneur, what's the worst case? You get a job at Burger King. That's the worst case. You're not going to jail. You're not getting to the hospital bed. None of this. You just get a job. You know, so why not taking the risk? Why not trying? And if you don't like it, well, maybe it's not for you.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, that's
I would
okay.
say I did have some influence in my life. It started with my dad, and I always wanted to taste one of that what it feels like to be independent,
Right.
to have your own thing and to run your own show and to empower others based on how much you want to do for others, not based on your KPI or whatever the company wants you to do. It's mostly like, okay, if I want to put the bar really high, I can. Why? Because I'm in control. So having control on your own, you know, on your own business ventures is like,
Yeah.
it's not negotiable for me. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, regardless if I have a job or not, I will be running something on the side. You know,
I feel that.
it's been
I
like
think
this.
I would be the same way.
Yeah. I'm not saying don't get a job. Some
Right.
jobs are
Right.
honorable.
Right.
Like they big, they need you because you're doing something great and the
Right.
job is making an impact. But
Right.
don't stop working on your dream.
Right.
Because literally a job, it's helping someone else build their dream. But
Yeah.
about your dream?
Right.
What about what you want to do for this world?
Right.
You know how much impact you want to do, and you gotta do this, guys. You gotta like put out the word.
100% agree. So MK, you've answered all of my questions. You answered some I didn't even have to ask. So, anything else you would like to say just about what we talked about? The topic's leadership, but anything you would like to share that you might think would be helpful, or anything just for people in general, just about entrepreneurship?
Well, entrepreneurship, guys. If there's one thing I would share is make AI your best friend. We didn't talk about that. We live in an era of AI now, and AI has made entrepreneurs life way easier than it used to be.
Right.
You can automate stuff now. You don't need to hire a lawyer to read a contract. You can just like use AI to get you the bullet points, or to write a legal, or create a web page or whatever it is. Now that those tools are available to people, I want people to know that it's not as hard to tap into the entrepreneurship industry than it used to be.
Right.
You feel me? Because you have so much AI tools that can help you, empower you, enhance your productivity, your outcome, and really those leads, and make sure you follow up on things, and make sure to keep you in track.
Right.
So I feel like, to anybody that is watching this, make sure to implement AI as much as possible in your workflow. This will unload the stress, because one of the things that is the downside of entrepreneurship, it put a lot of stress on the human body,
it does.
physically and mentally.
Yeah.
So any help you can get, take it. Because you're human, you're not a machine. So if the machine wants to take care of the email, the lead management, the editing, the this and the that, let him do it. So you can focus on closing those deals and be what the machine can do. Be human. Okay, call the client. Have coffee with the client.
Right.
Get to know the project even deeper. AI
Yeah.
can't do that.
Nah.
Do focus on this. Focus on building rapport, and let AI take care of the logistic and the administrational side of things. Let AI be an assistant that can empower you, that can multiply your productivity, and also offload that stressful component that entrepreneurship brings in. I don't know if I was able to answer that
No, you
clearly.
answer that. Yeah.
It's a lot of people out there, they're scared of AI. They think that AI is gonna replace us, but at the end of the day, AI can only do the job that the machine do. Machine. When I mean machine, anything that an AI do is done by a machine. And you don't want to be the one doing this. You want to be the one strategizing. You want to be the one doing the critical thinking.
Right.
Think forward, think for tomorrow, how big you want the business. You want your brain to be there, not on paperwork, not on administrative work. If AI can do this for you and offload the work on your plate, let him do it.
Yeah.
Let it do it. You
Yeah.
know. But yeah, that would be my advice to anybody that wants to tackle entrepreneurship.
Gotcha.
Use AI as much as you can. To
Gotcha.
get ideas.
Right.
Yes, use AI. When you have an idea, put it down.
Right.
And talk to AI and let him know, like, how do you see your idea? What are the risk factors? What should I do to execute? Give me a business plan. Back in old days, you have to have an MBA at least to build a business plan. With AI, in 5 minutes, you can get a business plan. 5 seconds, actually. Depends on which ChatGPT you're using.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for someone to be scared no more. The road for success is right ahead of you. You just have to go ahead and jump in and start taking action one day at a time. Yeah. And another thing I would advise people, if there's one thing I want you guys to focus on, is to focus on doing one thing at a time. The reason why I'm saying this is like, move forward 1% at the time. If today I move forward 1%, the next day 1%, and I keep putting 1%, in 360 days, that's 360% of growth. You see what I mean? In 500 days, that's 500% of growth. In 1,000 days, that's 1,000% of growth. So every day, as an entrepreneur, find a way to say to yourself, move to that 1 inch that's gonna make you feel like you move 1%. You don't need to push yourself to 5, 7%. That's too much. That's when you break. That's when you get exhausted and you give up. You push it too much. Do one thing that push your business ideas and business venture forward every day. Like,
I like that.
And you see growth, compound growth. It will accumulate. All those 1% will build up, and you'll get that 500% of growth, and you'll be like, wow, look how far I did it. But go 1% at a time.
I like that. Way to end the interview, MK. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Tay. I enjoyed this interview. It felt so natural, and so like I didn't even check my bullet points. Like,
Good.
it was good. That was so good to talk about this.
Just flowing.
Just flowing. I love that.
You have a lot to say.
You have a lot to ask. So Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for having me today. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate
Yeah.
working with you. You're a player just like me. So, like
Course,
we've worked
man.
so much project and the outcome is always coming out
Yeah.
good. So it's a pleasure for me to be here and
Appreciate
answer
that,
these
Jay.
questions.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap, baby. Hey.